Welcome back people to another Gamer Monday. Today we revisit those mysterious islands deep in the heart of the Caribbean. A place of wonder, comedy and adventure. This is the continuing story of wannabe pirate Guybrush Threepwood and his quest to once again save the love of his life while battling the evil zombie pirate LeChuck. This is the Curse of Monkey Island. First of all, I have to admit, being a huge fan of the earlier point-and-click adventure games, such as the first two amazing installments of Monkey Island 1 and 2. But I have to say, sadly, I never played this wonderful adventure. Hey, but just hear me out. The year was 1997. And by this stage, there was a 6-year gap between games. And during this time, my passion for games had shifted into a whole new genre. And after all, by this time, the Sony PlayStation was already well established. And games such as Resident Evil and Twisted Metal had my full interest. So sadly, by the time The Curse of Monkey Island came out, I missed it. And boy, did I really miss out on a truly amazing game. The Monkey Island creator himself, Ron Gilbert, who had parted ways with the series after Monkey Island 2, which still is upsetting because we never have seen what the true story and what the true secret of Monkey Island was going to be. The new project leaders were Jonathan Ackley and Larry Ahern, both men who had previously worked on Full Throttle. And a side note, my personal favourite point-and-click adventure game of all time. But that's a topic for another day. And for both men, well, they do an excellent job here, as they did with Full Throttle. The updated look and graphics, well, they're just superb, and they surpass any of the Monkey Island games. It is as if it's a funny animated full-feature film. This would also be the first time Guybrush would be given a voice, with Dominic Amato, who would then become the ongoing voice actor for Guybrush Threepwood. Alongside him was Earl Bowen as LeChuck. And you know what, if his voice ever sounded somewhat familiar, well, here's a bit of trivia. He was also the actor who played Sarah Connor's doctor, Dr. Silverman, in Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. As for the story itself, well, it continues on from Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge, but somewhat skims over the arguably confusing ending to the second installment, only hinting at the carnival which we saw in LeChuck's Revenge's ending. Overall, the game itself is fun as hell. Coming from someone who missed playing out on this installment when it was first released, the humour is on point here. And now with dialogue giving the writers a more wide range of fourth wall breaking jokes and pushing the humour even further than ever before. I personally think this is when Lucasarts hit an all-time high, because after this, the only real notable point-and-click adventure game LucasArts would ever create properly was Grim Fandango. The biggest disappointment in The Curse of Monkey Island is, unlike its first two installments, we were never given a special edition. And you know what? It's a shame, as many would still love to see this game re-released to find a whole new audience. As for where it sits in the Monkey Island franchise, it's hard for me to say. My love for the first two games, it comes from a personal childhood deep connection, so I'm very biased towards those first two games. But I must say, this would have been right up there with The Secret of Monkey Island and LeChuck's Revenge. But personally, I would have to say I enjoyed the first two games more, but only due to my personal love for those games. But as for the execution of the games themselves, how could you deny The Curse of Monkey Island being the superior game? It looks amazing. Truly one of the most stunning visual looking games I can ever remember. And I truly believe that. The music, the sound are all on point once again. The acting, the writing, and the introduction to new characters such as fan favourite Murray, a headless skull with a wise-cracking mouth, how could you go wrong? Overall, I would totally recommend anyone who enjoys a good point-and-click adventure game to check out The Curse of Monkey Island. Hell, even if adventure strategy games aren't your thing, still check this franchise out. You will not be disappointed. And that's The Curse of Monkey Island, people. And sadly, it would be truly the last amazing Monkey Island game. as from here on it took a step down in class. But we will have to wait to cover those games for another day. As for next week, it's time to dive into the Halloween mode for the month of October, and I'll be checking out a game series that I mentioned earlier on in this review. So don't get bitten and don't open that door as we dive into the master of the horror survival genre, Resident Evil. Thank you for watching, people. If you like this, please be kind and give this video a thumbs up and maybe even a share. And if content like this is your thing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. This has been Wayne and you have been watching Gamer Monday, only on the OBN Network.